My name is Karanvir Saini and my partner's name is Mouzam Arif, and our topic is deforestation. Now, we will be telling you in this presentation what deforestation is, what the pros and cons of deforestation are, and also what our personal views are on deforestation.
General description. Deforestation or clear cutting is the felling and removal of all trees from a given tract of a forest. This is known as an ecological trauma. Clear cutting can benefit the economy, but at the same time harm the environments and habitats. Did you know animals are coming into residential areas because forests are being cut down and houses are going up and they have no place to live?
The pros of deforestation are that it brings manufacturers more wood to make produce that humans use on a daily basis. Think about it. We use papers and pencils every single day at school. We use sometimes multiple papers in one class. So you know what? Deforestation is helping these manufacturers make more paper for us. Also, the cutting of trees may enable them to keep the carbon dioxide that they store inside instead of releasing it all when the trees die. So we all know that trees are carbon sinks. When they die, they let out all the carbon that they hold, which is really bad. But they think there's a possibility that it may keep the carbon dioxide that they store. Another pro would be that it would be easier to find undiscovered species in forests like the Amazon forest. So, the Amazon forest isn't completely discovered. No one has been through it. They might find a species that they've never seen before while cutting it down and might hand it over to scientists that can classify it and see what their specialties are. The last one is it creates more space for farmers to grow crops, which leads to more people being fed. We know that there's a lot of places in the world that have food issues, that have shortage of food. So more farmers means more food going out to those countries. And that might also help them because the prices may go down if there's an abundance of food. Cons of deforestation are much more great than the pros. Now, one of them is even though there is a possibility of keeping the carbon dioxide in the trees, at the moment they're still releasing them rapidly. Now that is really bad because we're putting greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and I'll get to that a little bit later. The unique ecosystem living in a forest will disappear because their habitat no longer exists. So an example, if we're cutting down the Amazon rainforest and we do find animals that we've never seen before, they're not going to survive because we just cut down their home. So there is no point in finding them if they're not going to survive. They're just going to get extinct, and we're going to know them for a short period of time. Trees are a source that bring water vapor into the clouds. So if we get rid of the trees, then we're getting rid of the source that's resulting in a decrease in rainfall. So, the sun evaporates the water from the leaves. And we've learned this in class. So if there's less precipitation going into the clouds, there's less rainfall going to those places, and there's a possibility of drought. There's always a possibility of drought because in rainforests, the trees are the main cause of rainfall. Now the next one is it's also speeding up global warming because we're getting rid of all the carbon sinks. So that is tied up with the first one I said, how they're releasing carbon dioxide. So they're carbon sinks and they're releasing the carbon dioxide, which is putting more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which is making the earth get warmer. The glaciers are melting and we're all going to die. Without trees, human life will not survive because trees produce mass amounts of oxygen that we need to live. In places where there's rainforests, trees produce so much oxygen, and if you cut them down, you would feel a difference. So, like that picture says, why are people cutting down trees? I don't get it. My personal opinion on this topic is that they should stop deforestation. Now, I think this because they're causing way too much harm to the earth. Some of those harms are that they're speeding the rate of global warming by cutting trees, which release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Now, we all know that trees are carbon sinks, so if we get rid of the carbon sinks, then there's nothing to take in the carbon dioxide, and it's also releasing carbon dioxide into the air because the carbon dioxide that the trees already hold has to go somewhere. My second reason is that we are destroying a unique ecosystem, some that we have not discovered yet. And I use the Amazon rainforest again as an example. We don't know what's in there. There could be stuff that we could cure diseases with, like cancer. There could be stuff, cutting them down could release diseases too, but we don't know that. And we will never know that because we're going to end up cutting it all down. My last reason is if we get rid of huge rainforests or any forests, then we're increasing the chances of drought in the surrounding areas because the water vapor in the clouds come from trees. So if we substantially decrease the amount of trees, we decrease the amount of precipitation there is in the clouds. And then there would be less rainfall. Even if they are planting trees in the forest that they cut, they're most likely going to either put seeds down or small trees, the baby trees. And that's still not going to give enough precipitation to continue the amount of rainfall that was there from before, because big trees get water from deep into the earth. That is why I think they should stop deforestation.
Personal opinion. I believe that they should discontinue clear cutting. My first reason why deforestation should be stopped is it pollutes the waterways by increasing dirt and sediment in the rivers, making the water unsuitable for fish or other aquatic organisms to live in. My second reason is the process of deforestation creates less space for the animals to live in, thus leaving less resources, food, water, and shelter, for them to survive off. My third reason is the more trees we cut down, the less oxygen production. It will be difficult for all organisms to survive. My final reason is that it can impact individuals, such as farmers, who we depend on for food. Less trees means less water and less food, which we need to survive.
This is our bibliography. We have it in the right format. I'm just going to give you a second to look at it. And we have reached the end. Thank you for watching our presentation. I hope you liked it.